So welcome back to On the Couch with Tony and Nikki on TNTV. I've got a mischievous wife today who keeps laughing, giggling,
I don't know,
playing up a little bit, but that's all perfect.
It's a Birmingham thing.
It's all a test.
It's all over the place, as they say.
Anyway, so on that point, we have a great subject for you this week, which we get asked loads and loads of questions about, which is sort of, how do I know, or when do I know that I'm in the right relationship? Is it the right person for me? And I always say, well, look, how would it be that you need to go back a step? You don't need to be forward a step. So we went recently to a wedding in France where a situation arose, and it was very fascinating, wasn't it?
That's right. Well, because we know so many people that come to us. I mean, obviously we have people come to us who are couples who are going, I still can't decide whether this is the right relationship for me. But here we are often with a lot of single people who are going, I'm even looking around and I keep going, well, I can't see anybody. There's nobody that I seem to click with or whatever. And we were at this wedding and we had two of our singles there from our who had been on our courses, and both of them were in the same place going, no, there's nobody out there for me.
Yeah, and I said to him, well, at the wedding, obviously, it's lots of guys here, on their own. Oh, no one for me. And I said, well, what about, so-and-so? She said, well, no, it's not my type. And now, the first rule of thumb is to be careful when they're not your type. Yeah, Nikki said that about me.
That's right. Because I met this really great guy called Tony V, and then people were saying to me, well, and I'm going, no, he's not my type. Because for some reason I was definitely still in that place where I was definitely still selecting with my eyes, and I was going, somehow he didn't seem to look the way that I expected the kind of person that I was going to be with was going to look. So I was going, he's not my type. And in actual fact, what happened with us was that, I proverbially put my foot in the pool. And I actually spent loads of time with Tony, and then I found out, oh my God, this is definitely the right person for me. So that's how that can work amazingly if you can overcome that part.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of distinctions. Firstly, I think that we do tend to choose with our eyes. Now, obviously, with all the magazines out there, those beautiful glossy magazines, you look through those, don't you, girls? Come on. And then you see, the ones that you like the look of, and then you go out in the street, and how many of those do you see? Well, you don't, but, they've got their makeup on, they've got their haircut, they've got, it's all sort of artificial in many ways, How many people have we ever met on a stage that look great on the stage, they come off and they're going, okay, that's interesting, yeah? So, what you see in a picture isn't what you're going to, experience in so-called real life. So I think choosing with your eyes is a serious mistake, yeah? And recently we were at a conference where this great speaker came on, quite a well-known character, and he was talking about interviewing people for a job.
Yeah.
And he said, again, in the audience, put your hands up if you ever employed anyone, yeah? So everyone's putting their hands up, yeah? So he said, how many people interviewed the person that they wanted to employ just the one time and then employed them? Well, like half the hands in the room went up, yeah? How many people interviewed them twice?
Most of the rest of them.
Yeah. And, but how many people interviewed them more than 3 times? Well, like nobody, yeah? So he said, and this man is a seriously successful man, yeah? Very well-known character. And he said, how many times do you think I interview someone before I give them a job, or I work with them, or I get involved intimately, was his word, with them, which was interesting, yeah? And he said 20 times. Yes. Well, everybody nearly fell on the floor, because they're thinking, well, that's a long time to be interviewing someone for, yeah? But he said, you see, what I do is I really get to know them. Yes. And I go round their house, they come round my house, we all have dinner together, and, basically I get to really know the workings of this person, inside out and back to front.
And we're going, oh my God, that's it. That's what we feel is the same for intimate relationships. That's what happened for us, actually, was where we hadn't it wasn't knowing we were going to be together. We just spent a lot of time with us. We really got to know each other. We understood our beliefs and our values and all the other things that you can really get clear about what it is that's clear for you and what you want in a relationship, and just get to know that, because otherwise what happens is that you get, the biggest thing that we see is that somebody goes quickly then into intimacy with that person to quote unquote find out whether this is the right person for me. This is a real no-no, and that's not us being traditional or old-fashioned. It's just saying that will completely confuse the issue.
Yeah.
So it's about choosing the right person to spend more time with, so that you can really find out about that person, and then you can start asking yourself the question, is this somebody that I want to spend more time with, get into more intimacy with, get committed with?
Yeah, so I think one of the first hurdles, if there were some hurdles here, would be to get the hell out of judgment. You know, if you can stop judging other people forever, oh my gosh, will you have a completely different experience? But of course, intimately, you know, we're going around, if we're single certainly, and certainly if we're sometimes in a relationship, and we're judging the other person based on what we believe is right. And of course, that is just a rubbish way to live your life and have a great experience. So it's not until you get over judgment. So if you get over the judgment hurdle and be open, this is what I was saying to the two single girls, you know, how would it be? There's a swimming pool here, yeah? And if you sit on the side, you know, metaphorically sunbathing, waiting for your knight in shining armour to come along, then, you know, the chances of that happening, and also judging everybody as they walk by, the chances of you meeting Mr. Right or Mr. Right finding you are actually quite slim, especially if he's actually in the pool, swimming around. So I always say to people, you know, you need to be in the pool, swimming around with a non-judgmental attitude to life, and then wait and see what the universe delivers you. And know that it's unlikely to look like anything in the magazine.
That's right.
Yeah, apparently I was, in Nicky's world, going to be American, 6'2", and have blue eyes. I mean, I'm from Croydon, for God's sake. And I got brown eyes and I'm 5'9". So
found out you were perfect. Found out
there
you were
you
perfect.
go. So
But just one thing. The other thing, I'm going to tell you this, because we had a guy, we were talking to this guy the other day, and he was saying he's in the dating mode, and he was saying that he actually does put his foot in the pool
gets
quite
in the
often.
pool a bit, yeah.
But then, you know, when you start to date somebody and you start to decide, you know, do I want to spend more time with somebody? What he was finding was that he was getting some really quick signals, very, very quickly, that this was not really the right person for him. He didn't have the right kind of lifestyle that would fit really great with his. And we were asking him, and he said, well, you know, I saw this girl, you know, 2 or 3 times. He said, and then I went and spent time, because we said, look, did you see the way she lives? Did you go and spend time in her house? Because we really believe that's a good thing to do, either as a man or a woman. And he said, oh yeah, I went and stayed, you know, spent time with her, and I stayed there. And he said, you know, I really didn't get a good vibe. I didn't feel like she was really in that good a place. He said, so we spent the night together. We're saying, well, you know, did you any time at any point think that this was the right person for you for life? And he went, not a bit. And so, you know, we're really saying to you, look at people, you know, give people a chance, but, you know, don't go into that intimacy.
Yeah, so sort of the good old 1, 2, 3, you know, get out of judgment will be your first hurdle, get in the swimming pool with the other single people is the second hurdle, and the third hurdle is interview them 20 times. Get to know them first before you get too intimate with them. So we trust that's all been very useful to you, and we're going to be back in a moment with a commercial break so that you can learn how you can, you know, get a bit more intricate with some of those hurdles. So welcome back to the commercial break, where this week we've got a meeting with Big Ben planned on the 26th of October, Sunday in fact. So we're going to invite you along, if you're single, to learn more about getting in the pool and swimming around. Last month we did this great exercise with some guys, and the women were blown away going, okay, I sort of get it, and the guys going, oh my gosh.
Is that how easy it is to attract a woman?
Yes, so this month we're turning the tables round. So girls, you're going to learn some of those little intricacies that get you over those hurdles and get you into a great relationship. And in fact, actually, you're going to learn all the things that stop you. So do come along on the 26th of October on the old newsletter here, or get on the website. You'll see Big Ben, click the old picture, tells you all about it.
Absolutely. And if you're in a relationship, come to the session in the morning.
The session in the morning, that's all going to be amazing for couples. Last month we did some great stuff with couples. They were blown away. So, couples in the morning, singles in the evening. If you want to have lunch with us, that's all great too. And if you don't live near London and you can't make it, get on the Home Study course, because it's all on there for you. So that's on the website too.